What's up, guys? It's your girl Rivah, and I'm back again with another video. If you're new to this channel, hi, my name is Rivah. It's very nice to meet you. Before we get into this video, make sure that you guys hit that subscribe button. Make sure that you guys give this video a thumbs up. And as I always say, make sure that you guys leave your comments in the comment section down below. Actually, a subscriber sent me this video, and I was very intrigued by the title, and I could not wait to come in front of you guys so that we can go ahead and watch this together. Again, my Instagram is at RIVAH_JORDON. If you have any videos that you want me to react to, go ahead and send them there. Just like this subscriber did with this video. And yeah, I'm really curious on how this conversation is gonna go. And you know how we do over here, we keep it real. So let's just go ahead and get right into this video.
This is Hafiz, and whew, you guys saw the title. Today's video is a very serious topic, a very serious message, and something that's been weighing heavily on my heart for the past couple of days. So, ladies, if you're going to be watching today's video, all I ask is that you watch it to the very end, because if not, you're going to get triggered, you're going to misunderstand the message, because this is something that is so important for every man and woman to understand. And today's message is this: women today are no longer marriageable. If you're new to this channel, the goal of the roommates is to help every single man become the best version of himself, physically, emotionally, spiritually, and financially. And oh my goodness, this past couple of weeks, so many guys have been sending me the receipts, sending me their progress reports about how they've been improving their lives. So many guys are getting in the gym. So many guys are going to counseling. So many guys are getting their money right, growing spiritually, tapping into their masculinity. So many guys are improving themselves, and I cannot even tell you how many messages I've read today alone from guys sharing me how much they're drastically transforming their lives. They're becoming ambitious, they're becoming assertive, they're becoming confident, they're becoming competent, they're having purpose. It is such a beautiful sight to see. And then I got a message from a young man who's been following this content for quite a while, and he said, Hafiz, I've been putting in the work, I've been doing everything that you've asked of me to become the best version of myself so I can be a better man, a better father in the future, and a better husband. Mm-hmm. But what I've realized is, as I'm going out attempting to meet women, women today are not putting in the work. Women today are not meeting my standards, and it wasn't even crazy standards. It was simple things that we'll talk about later on in this video. Mm-hmm. And I wish I could tell you that was a one-off thing. I get so many messages like that from guys who, after they're putting in work, or the ones who have already put in the work, telling me that they cannot find good quality women.
And I can definitely second that over here as well on Rivah TV. I have a lot of people who hit my DM, a lot of people even in the comments who are literally saying the same thing. So I'm definitely interested in all the gems that he's gonna drop in this video for sure.
And one of the biggest things I've noticed is that women clearly understand that they have standards for men, mm-hmm, that most men don't meet. But what they always fail to realize is that men have standards as well for women. And unfortunately, women don't meet these standards. So let's go ahead and talk about it. So let's talk about 5 reasons that women today are not marriageable according to men's standards. And reason number 1, there's too many single mothers. So here's an interesting thing that you always see from people who argue the opposite. There's so many people who argue that there is not enough marriageable men and there is a drought of men amongst women. One of those people is William Julius Wilson, who wrote in this book that especially in the black community, there is a shortage of desirable men. But let me tell you the fundamental flaw that Julius Wilson made, according to Brookings Institute and many other scholars who critiqued his work. So what he did was he created a standard for men. He asked women, he said, women, what is the standard that you can't pick five, but what is the most important thing you want in a man? And women said, we want an employed man. Right. So what he did was he said, okay, how many men are employed? And he compared employed men to all women. And then he said, well, there's less employed men than all women, therefore there's a shortage of men. But there's a fundamental problem. You didn't create a standard for women. All he did was create a standard for men. He didn't create a standard for women. So what Brookings Institute did was they asked men, hey men, what is the standard that you have for women? And men said, in America, what men said is that we want them to not have children. We don't want to raise another man's kids. So then Brookings Institution did something really remarkable. They combined both the standards. They said, okay, how many women are employed using the women's standard for men and have no kids using the men's standard for women? And they compared that to how many men are employed and have no kids. Across every single race of people in America, there was always more men. There was always more.
Guys, if you see that I am not talking as much in this video, don't take it for nothing. We always do our recap at the end of the video, but I've never heard this person speak before. So I like to, hear, listen, analyze, receive the information, and then be able to talk about it. But so far, yeah, I've definitely come to realize that a lot of these numbers that we have, this numbers game about like women to men ratio, is actually for real based off of the type of men that women want. That's why they always say that there's not enough. It's always based off of the type of men that women are going for. So I want to hear what else he has to say.
Employed childless men, then employed childless women. Right. So what you see is that a lot of women in today's world, there's so many single mothers. Mm-hmm. Men say we don't want to raise another man's kids. Especially in the black community, single motherhood rate is through the roof. I'm not even talking about women who are widowed. I'm not talking about women who were married and divorced. I'm talking about never married women having kids. Men are saying we don't want to marry women who already have someone else's kids. But guess what happened? Women don't care. Women don't care. And they keep on popping them out, and then they wonder where all the men at? Where all the men at? And then they try to tell men lies. Then they try to spew out lies. They try to say, well, a real man, marries a single mother. You're weak. A secure man. See, that's what they want. They try to shame men into what they don't want.
Now that's a fact. They definitely try to shame men like, oh, well, what's the problem? Why is it a problem that I have kids? Oh, no, it's nothing about that. It's just that, gene-wise, right, as a man raising somebody else's children, gene-wise, that's not your seed. So there's a lot of differences. And then you have, the you're not my daddy. And, well, I have a dad. You can't tell me what to do. And then also financially, like, yes, you have to work harder to be able to provide for the entire family. And especially if you're a man that does not have children yet, I can completely understand that. But I do hear a lot of shaming about that situation. A lot of shaming, like, oh, well, I don't see the problem. I don't know why. Yeah, well, he's not a real man. Well, maybe that he just has his preferences, and that's okay. But a lot of people get shamed. A lot of men get shamed for the standards that they put in place for women and for relationships and marriages, and it just doesn't add up. It doesn't add up.
Imagine a guy doing this. Well, a real woman marries a guy without a job. A real woman takes a guy from rock bottom and builds him up. A real woman sees a guy who's broken, loves him with all her heart. You see, men don't do that. But women want to play that game. They want to play that game. And clearly, as the studies show, men do not want to marry single mothers. But unfortunately, especially in the black community, we can't seem to understand that. And the second reason that women today are not marriageable according to male standards is because too many women are overweight. According to the U.S. Department of Health and Human Offices in Minority Health, black women have the highest rates of obesity in America. They say 4 out of 5 black women are either overweight or obesity. There is so big of an issue, no pun intended, when it comes to the weight. And men have been saying it over and over again. We want fit women. Psychology Today did an amazing article where they took cross-cultural studies about men. And they asked men, what do they desire in women across all cultures around the world? And men wanted fit women, healthy women.
I think that shows that men want fit women. If you look at the women who are fit, when it comes to, you know, marriage, when it comes to status, people who have a high status and what their wives look like, I think it shows. And the thing is like, I feel like people try to shame you, like, cause me, I am not overweight. I'm not overweight, right? And I feel like there comes a shame when you're somebody who's not overweight and you talk about being overweight, and it's just a deflection so that they can have a reason to remain at their weight and at their size. But I say it all the time. Your health is your wealth. You're going to hear me say that a million times. Because, honestly, people will say, oh, no, you know, it runs in my family. No, it doesn't. The food runs in your family. The food that your family eats and you guys keep cooking and eating and eating and eating, that runs in your family. Not high blood pressure, not diabetes, not high cholesterol. All that stuff is coming from the things that you are consuming in your body. And then you're feeding it on and on, generation to generation. Everybody's going to get big. Everybody's going to get big.
But the sad thing is so many women today are out of shape. They're overweight. And they don't want to do anything about it.
True.
Because a man should love me as I am. You see, here's the reality.
Why is it fair that you're with a man and he's good looking or he's in shape or he's fit? Because as we know, the ratio when it comes to men and women, more men usually just remain fit. Like, you know, especially if they're slim or slender from like they're young. As they get older, they just kind of keep that kind of physique. They go on a diet, they lose weight like this. Women, our bodies are different. Hormones are different. So you definitely have to like work a little bit harder to maintain your size. But why is it that you should be in a relationship with a man who you find attractive, right? Because beauty's in the eye of the beholder. And you should go with him outside and he sees all these beautiful women at the grocery store, at the bank, at the mall, at the this, at the that. And he's supposed to be able to see this because he's able to see, but he's supposed to be bound to you who doesn't feel like or doesn't want to put in the effort to keep yourself up. Why is that fair? Like, why is that fair?
When it comes to standards, women have no problem sharing their standards. They have no problem saying, we don't want a short guy. They have no problem saying that. Oh, I'm sorry, I don't want a guy shorter than me. I don't want a short guy. They have no problem with their short guy standards. But the moment men say, well, there is a weight standard that we have, women are like, oh, no. Oh, my gosh, you guys are so shallow. Oh, my gosh, how dare you? You guys, You see, what are we talking about here? Men have said it, and women don't want to change. See, the thing about being a shorter guy is that you can't change that.
Right.
You can't fix that. If you're short, it is what it is. But if you're a woman who's overweight, you can get in your best shape. You can improve that. You can fix that. But so many women don't want to. They just want men to take them, and men say we don't want it. Is there some men who don't have many options, who will take it, yes, but most men don't. And I had a friend who made a great point, and he said, women will always argue, well, guys like them big, guys like them big. Well, how many girls at the strip club are overweight? How many girls, when guys are scrolling through Instagram, the Instagram models with the millions of followers that all the guys are liking their picture, how many of them are overweight? How many of the actresses that men are putting on their walls, how many of them are overweight? We know, everybody knows this, but unfortunately today we can't talk about the weight issue, especially in the black community. Men want physically fit women. And if women are not willing to change that, men will find a woman and be with a woman who is. And the third reason why women are not marriageable is because they have no examples. You see, what I realize is that when it comes to men being good husbands and fathers, men don't have any examples, which is why I bring in so many amazing men who are husbands and fathers into the roommate. I share so many books so that men can learn. Because being a great husband and a father does not come natural. But here is the most asinine ideology I've come to hear. So many people believe that women are simply great wives just by being women. Women are born great wives. That's what people think. Oh my God, she's nurturing and she's supportive. That's just how we are. It's crazy. You are not like that. You have to be taught that way. Human beings have to be civilized. We don't come out the womb being perfectly amazing angels, especially not in romantic relationships. You have to learn that. You see, back in the day, women had mothers who were wives and grandmothers who were wives who would teach them. But going back to the single motherhood problem, so many women, unfortunately, grew up in single mom households, so their moms were never wives. So they could never learn. They never saw what it was like for a woman to be a great wife, and they never seen it. And so because there are no examples, a lot of women don't know how to navigate in relationships. Right. They don't know how to deal with a man and talk to a man and communicate with a man and inspire a man, not nag a man.
Not nag a man is a word. Not nag a man is a word. That's a word right there.
And that's something, like I said, as the roommates, we hold the guys accountable. We give them all the tools and resources because we know they haven't learned these things. But like I said, the reason why so many women are not trying to learn these things is because society has convinced them that just because you are born female, you are automatically a great wife, when it's not the case. So I advise every woman who did not grow up in a two-parent household that saw a loving mother support and take care of her father, I ask those women to find a marriage mentor. Find a woman in a healthy marriage that you can learn from. Because, like I said,
you gotta find, if you're gonna do that though, as a woman, and you're looking for an example, you have to find somebody who's in a firm marriage. A marriage that, if your marriage looked like that in however many years, you'd be satisfied with that. Because not every woman also who is married has a model marriage that you want to get advice from or replicate, because there's so many different factors. There's some women who know how to get a husband. Oh, they know how. They know how to get a husband. Better believe that. But when they're with that husband, after, a year, maybe 2 years, 3 years, all hell breaks loose. And everybody's just staying around, staying committed. But are they happy? Like, is it healthy? Is it toxic? Yes. So even when it comes to that, like, you have to really know who you're getting advice from too, because, and even some women who are in a marriage will tell you some other advice that they wouldn't have told their younger self also. So even with that, you have to be careful too.
Just because you're a woman does not mean you're going to be a good partner. Mm-hmm. And the fourth reason that women today are no longer marriageable is because women today are too masculine. Yeah. I talk about this all the time. Imagine there is a dance. So let's say we're going salsa dancing. Usually people want one of two things. Usually people want a competent leader to lead them in the dance, a more masculine person, or they want a willing follower to follow them in the dance, usually a more feminine person. Masculine men want feminine women in the sexual dance of life. That's what they want. But unfortunately, in today's world, so many women are masculine. So many women want to be in charge. So many women are, I'm woman, hear me roar. And so women have lost the natural femininity that men desire because women think femininity is weakness.
True.
Women think they always do strongman extremes. If I'm feminine, I'm gonna get walked all over. If I'm this,
and what about it? Like that, like I always say, and what about it? And that's true. And the thing is because in this, society, I don't need no man. I could do bad all by myself. I don't need you. We're good. We're strong. We're independent. We pay our own bills. We do all of these things for ourselves. In this society of that, women are feeding off of other women. So women are actually living to please other women. They're not living to please a man because a lot of women feel like, whatever, we don't need them. It's horrible.
Walked all over. He can take advantage of me. He can run me like a slave. He wants me to be a slave. They make all these crazy extremes to justify why they're not feminine. Then they also make all these extremes and excuses to why they don't have to respect the man. Well, you got to earn my respect. That's wrong. People should be given respect. They don't have to earn your respect. Who do you think you are? If I was a man and I had the choice between choosing from two dance partners, one of them wants to willingly follow me in the dance and the other one wants to lead me in the dance, most men want somebody who's going to willingly follow them and not someone that they have to argue, someone that they're going to have to constantly fight and go back and forth, constantly have to do all types of crazy things to earn a little bit of respect. Men are not going to choose that. Men do not want masculine women, especially if they are masculine men. And the last reason that women
that was a good one, especially if they are masculine men, was key. The if was a key word too.
Are no longer marriageable is because there's too much baggage. I recently did a poll on YouTube and I asked men, which one would you rather choose? A woman that was too immature or a woman who had too much baggage? I think over 20,000 people voted in that poll, and 77% of men said we would rather take someone who's too immature than someone who has too much baggage. The sad thing about so many girls today is they have so much baggage. You see, that's the thing people don't talk about when it comes to hot girl summer. When you live in your hot girl summer, best life now, having sex with all types of guys, going into different kinds of relationships, those things affect you. You bring baggage, you bring trauma, you bring issues, and men can see that. I'm at the point now when I meet a girl, I can already know. You see, we lived in this society where you say, hey, girl, just sleep with whoever you want, do whatever you want, and just all of a sudden when you're 30, settle down. No, all these partners that you're engaging with, all these men that you're dealing with, it's affecting you.
Yeah, I'm so glad that he's saying this. I'm so glad that he's saying this because I remember when I was like, like in my early, I won't say early teens. I would say my late teens, early 20s. And I would hear, my friends being like, oh yeah, girl. Like they would be like on like, one friend in particular would be like on like dating sites, like, like Tinder and stuff like that. And would just like meet guys and sleep with them and like meet other guys and sleep with them. And I used to be like, how, like, and, to me, she would be like, you're so like a relationship girl. Like, how are you like that? Like, I could never have a guy, like, I would never be so sweet like that to a guy. And I'm over here like, yo, like, all that energy is just accumulating. You know what I'm saying? All of that intertwining that you're doing is just accumulating. And he said it key, like, yeah, and then you feel like, oh yeah, when I'm 30, I'll settle down. But like, half the time it's a problem for you to settle down too, because you're going to be in your relationship unsatisfied because you're used to new all the time. Two, exactly, you've gone through so much emotionally you've given your heart, or you've been through so many different scenarios and so much that, like, if and most of the time, if you're doing all that stuff and you've gone through all that stuff, you haven't even done the time to work on yourself because you've just been in and out of things. That now the person that you're with is just getting flooded with all of that energy, everything, all the unresolved trauma, all the issues, all the drama, all the everything. And it's like, that's why people are ended up, they try to find somebody around that time in their 30s or whatever, and then they still have issues.
And now you have all this baggage. Mm-hmm. And then now you want a man, after him leveling up, after him putting in the work physically, emotionally, spiritually, financially, to take your baggage? No. No, men are not doing that. The ideology, well, he better accept me, flaws and all. Hell no. We are not accepting you, flaws and all. You have to take care of your baggage. But unfortunately, a lot of women don't have to, because they still get sex and attention whether they have attitudes and baggage or not.
It's true.
There's so many girls on Instagram, on OnlyFans, on all these different websites. They get tons of male attention, and they have tons of baggage. So what's the point of working on themselves? Mm-hmm. It really breaks my heart when I meet girls and they're like 22 years old and they have all this baggage and damage from dealing with all these kinds of men and all this and having all these sexual partners. I'm like, yo,
it's true.
What's going on? As I said in the beginning, the purpose of this video is not to bash and attack women. But the reality of the matter is somebody has to help women hold themselves accountable. Because I already know what they're saying in the comments. Who the hell do you think you are? Well, lady, don't listen to that man. Another man, another bitter man trying to do da. Like, so as a man, you can't hold them accountable. As a man, you can't hold them accountable. Then another woman tries to hold a woman accountable. What is she going to say? Who do you think you are? You can't tell me what to do. Who do you... There's nobody that can hold so many women today accountable. You see, here at the Roommates, accountability is something that we all do. No questions asked. We hold every single man accountable for the BS, the nonsense that he is either done or doing in his life. We don't allow men to make excuses. We say no excuses. We don't complain over here. We make a change over here. Straight up. But what I see is that so many women, you can't hold them accountable, and they don't want to make a change. They don't want to put in the work, and it breaks my heart. Where are the women who are putting in the work, who are in shape, who are feminine, who don't have all this baggage, who have positive examples and role models into their lives? Where are these women at? My guys want to know. I'm serious.
So, he's like really desperate about this. Like, really, where are you? Where are you? But the thing is, there's a couple of awakenings that have shifted society. And, there's that spiritual awakening that's super, important. Those who know, right? And then with women, there needs to be an awakening. And I feel like I've noticed that I've seen a lot more women, like I said, in my DMs. I see a lot more women commenting on my videos. And I feel like there's an awakening happening where it's like, how did we get so far off? How did we get here? How did things change? Right? Like, all of a sudden, the women are so masculine. And you will see that there are men that are feminine too. But that's not what we're talking about. Right now we're talking about women, right? And in this masculinity, the divine feminine energy is here for a purpose, right? There's a balance of energies. There's masculine energy, there's feminine energy. What do we do when we're missing one? What do we do when we're missing one? Well, what happens is what we look around and we see right now in society. Less people getting married, people raising children willy-nilly, wild, no family structures, people having children by themselves, being alone, and then this whole thing where it's just women against men. There's no unity. There's no love. There's no love for real. Like that essence is just missing, and I feel like there's a lot of people who are willing to stand up and talk about it, like me. I feel like I won't say there's a lot. There's a couple people who are willing to talk about it, but the vast majority is going with the flow and just being like, oh yeah, girl, you don't need him. You need a Birkin. You need this. You need that. You need this. You need that. And then they're going to stray you all the way along until you 50 years old alone with nobody. And it doesn't have to be that way. It doesn't have to be that way. The inner work is super essential. Your spiritual, your alignment. Because when you're aligned spiritually, you can't miss. Seriously, sorry. Excuse me, sorry guys. I washed my hair again, so my nose is running. That's why I was sniffling through the whole video. But let me know what you guys think about this video. Leave your comments in the comment section down below. I really want to know what you guys think about this. Make sure you guys give this video a thumbs up. If you're not following me on Instagram, go ahead and follow my Instagram. It's at RIVAH_JORDON. And just like this sign says, make sure that you guys hit the subscribe button and hit the notification bell, so as soon as I post a video, you guys will be notified. I do post a video every single day, sometimes more than once. So just make sure that you guys hit that notification bell, so as soon as I drop one, you guys will be the first ones to hear about it. Thank you guys so much for watching. As I always say, I love you guys so much. Mwah. See you in the next video.